All right. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's your host, JTP Iza, and I am back. And I got a special one for y'all today. I have the good brother, Mahayar Swift, the gamer, St. Phard, coming in. All right. And we are just waiting for him to come in. And while we wait, we will be right back. Okay, I got you. You said send it to you on what phone? I'm not on iPhone. I'm in my iPhone. Okay, okay, okay. All right, guys, give me 1 second. We are about to start. We are back. All right, all right, all right. We are back. All right. And first and foremost, I'd like to give a special shout out to the good brother for taking his time out of his busy day to come on the show. JTP, Jab to Paradise. We have a special guest today. We have with us Mahayar Swift St. Phard. What's going on, good brother? How you doing today? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, I can. Can you
Okay,
hear
so
me?
I can't hear you then. If you can hear me, I can't hear you then.
Okay. Let's see what we can do about that. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you.
Try to maybe it's just
Hello?
speakers. Try your speakers. Yeah, can you hear me?
Speakers.
I just
Hold
heard
on.
myself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Okay. The issue was I had the laptop muted. Hold up. Can you hear me now?
I still can hear you.
All right. Bet. Let me connect this to my headphones. Mic check.
Perfect, perfect. You coming through over here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, let's get it. All right. You send it in yeah, did you send the links to the chats?
Um, you know what? I actually didn't. Um, that was a that was a good one. I should have did that. Hold on, give me 1 second to do that. But first, and
Hmm.
foremost, give us a brief introduction and thank first and foremost,
What's
thank you
going on, y'all?
thank you for coming on the show too. Thank you for having us, blessing us with your
Uh-huh.
presence, good brother.
No problem, my man. No problem. No problem. What's going on, y'all? Thank you for having me first and foremost. You know what I mean? This is your first show, and you know, reached out your hand towards me, to open up the show. So I'm actually honored. It's actually kind of nerve wracking. I'm not gonna hold you. Not gonna hold you, but we're gonna get this done. If y'all don't know, my name is Mahayar St. Phard, but I professionally go by for fighting Swift. So if you want to get the fighting name in there, it's Mahayar Swift, the gamer St. Phard, and I'm ready to answer whatever questions that you got for me. So y'all can get to know me more, get to know my background, get to know what I have planned in the future, and so on and so forth.
Perfect, perfect. Appreciate that. Sorry about that. If you heard that, I just wanted to check the audio and we are clear. And so for my first question, I just gotta, I just want to know, the people would love to know, right? Tell us about your journey into the
Hmm.
fight world and how it all started for you.
Okay, that's an interesting. That's a great question. So, uh, I'll say my journey started at a young age. Growing up, my father taught a bunch of my siblings. I have a big family, martial arts, and the first martial arts I ever learned was wrestling. And it was just basic wrestling. I used to wrestle with my brothers a lot, and then it went into boxing, then Muay Thai. Um, not to the extreme, I'll say, just little self defense here and there. And as I got older, I grew love for the sport. So I used to watch MMA a lot. Growing up, I used to watch Michael Page, John Jones, Anderson Silva, Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray, Robinson. Those are the people that I look up to for fighting. Those are the people I look up to. So I always used to watch them and study their crafts and be amazed, and always thought that I could do the same thing too. And then I'll say years later, as a guy even more older, I was like, you know what? I'm finally going to put this in fruition. So I believe 2 to 3 years ago, I finally got into fighting MMA under just me and my brother, me and my younger brother. And then that's when I got into a school, and then that's when everything started skyrocketing from there.
Beautiful answer. And it sounds like, you got like you said, a large family that supports you and kind of molded you into this
Hmm.
classic fighter. Understand? Future
Yep,
Hall of
yep.
Fame fighter, right?
Oh, come on, man.
Hey, 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 come on,
Let's
brother.
get it. That's one of the goals right there. That's one of the goals to be the greatest at it. You know what I mean? That's one of the goals right there.
That's right. And I think
Just
you
gotta
could do
take you just gotta take some steps. Thank you. Thank you.
it. Yep.
Just gotta take those steps to get there, you know? Gotta take those steps
Right,
in
right.
due time.
And just to ask, because I watch the fights, and your corner is that your brothers?
So um the people in my corner is actually my coach
Okay.
Jeremy from Fighting Arts Academy. And my younger brother is always in my corner too, and I make sure that he's there. So when I go to fight, I make sure that my younger brother's there. I make sure my coach is there, and probably some my boxing coach too there.
All right. And what's your mindset? You know, leading into, like, let's say, days leading into the fight. Like, do you have
Oh man,
like you got any pre-fight rituals, so to speak?
my mindset. That's a really good question. I try not to worry, and I try to think about the inevitable. I try to think of, for example, Mike Tyson. He said everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. So
Right.
I try to think realistically, so I can plan ahead that okay, Mahayar, you're going to get punched, you're going to get hit. All these emotions that you're going to feel that inside, the ring, but make sure that you're feeling it now. So I can have a calm based mindset when I step in the ring, when I step in the cage. So my mind is I'll say, very focused and locked in, very focused and locked in, and, realistically thinking on a lot of things that may be, going through my head. So when it's time for me to fight, I'm able to lock in, everything that I worried about, because a lot of times, a lot of people worry inside the cage. I make sure that I don't do that. I take all those feelings, and I'll say a week or two before the fight, I make sure I feel those feelings and I take those feelings out.
Right. Right. And that seemed like it's important because, a lot of times I have seen where fighters, come in the ring and they, get starstruck almost like underneath the lights, you know.
Hmm.
And I feel like it's part of that is because
Yeah.
they thought about it too much, and then now that they're actually there, they
Hmm.
freeze like a deer in headlights sometimes, right? And they be good,
Yeah.
good for
I'll also say like, yeah, I'll also say like a strong prayer too as well. And
okay.
that's actually how I got my nickname inside. I don't know if you're gonna ask that question. I don't know if I'm jumping any guns, but um, that's how I actually got my nickname
Go
inside
ahead,
the cage.
go into it, man. Let's
Okay,
hear it.
so let's unroll. Let's unravel. So my my first two fights, of course, I had my younger brother with me, and before we ever enter into that cage, we say a prayer in the back.
All right, you
And
you jumping the gun.
when
You
we
jumping the gun.
see.
Nah, go ahead, because I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
So we say a prayer in the back. And as soon as we're done praying, like I told you before, everything that I felt goes away, and I immediately lock in. I just immediately lock in. I was always like that, even when I wrestled in high school. I will always lock in. So it just so happens when I did my first fight for my school, my brother's there. We did a prayer, and I immediately locked in after that. It's like a flip switch that goes on in my head. And usually my one of my actually the head coach used to tell me that you're gonna feel some type of emotion when you fight, and you get this jittery feeling. But when he was looking at me before I actually stepped in, he saw how focused I was, and he will ask me questions like, "Yo, you're not worried? You're not?" I would look at him like I'll be smiling and be telling my coach, "I'm good, I'm fine." Going inside, walking in there, pacing back and forth, he would just look at me. Him and the other peoples I was with, they would ask me like, "Swift, you good? Like, you don't seem worried at all. You're ready to go?" And I'll tell them, "I'm ready to go, coach. I'm ready to go." So as I go inside the ring, they see my performance, and through that, after that, I got the nickname the gamer because how gamers really be in chairs and they just lock in,
Right.
like they just locked in that gamer mode, and especially playing that specific game that they're nice at.
Hmm.
That's exactly how I was inside there. I just went in there and I locked in, no worries, didn't
See
take my
that?
foot off the gas. Like it was just everything was on go. Everything was on
Right.
go, and
You see
because
that?
I do, it's because the rituals I do.
Right. And that's a
Hmm.
beautiful thing, right? I'm glad you gave us that, right? Because one would think that was a video game player. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
no, you get that name because you locked in. You know what I'm saying? Like a gamer. And
Really
that's
locked in. Yep. Hmm.
what's up.
So after the fight, coach would be like, "Yo, so if you're a gamer, yo, you just and he just kept saying that. He just kept saying that, and I was like, "Huh?" I never adapted it, but it's a special thing when your coach gives you a nickname because I already go by a name. I already go by my name Swift. You know what I mean? And but it's a special thing when your coach gives you a nickname to go by. That means like yes, solidified. And I would just hear him always say that after the fight. And then I took a grappling match, and the same thing happened with my grappling match. And one of my trainer partners like, "Yo, coach, you're right. Swift is a gamer. He's just a gamer." So I was like, you know what? I think that fits best my personality. And when I do go in a fight, and like I said, it's with the hard prayer. It's a real prayer.
Right. And it is, the reason I said it, you was jumping the gun a little bit because I'm trying to get a photo up. When I get it up, I guess we'll get to it. I wanted to know
Hmm.
now when I'll put the photo up, but I'm gonna ask the question first. Now,
Hmm.
since you already went there, right?
Hmm.
What
My fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
that's all right, that's all right. What prayers, if you can, remember, what prayers do you say when you coming out the room? I would like to know. I'm curious of what scriptures are you meditating on before you go into a ring?
Um, so I wouldn't say it's a scriptures that we will use. It's just a prayer that comes out of the heart. It's a
Got you.
prayer that is really heartfelt that just comes out, and what my brother will speak on to try to help me. And what I will think about is the Lord encouraging me, like to give me the courage. And I know that once I step in there, I know that He will protect me. Because in war, that's the only thing that you want to be protected. And
Right.
my motto is that when I go and fight, it's not me fighting. It's the Lord fighting for me. So that's what I have in my mind. It's not me that goes in with the strength, with the muscles, with the slipping, the IQ. It's not me that's doing that. It's something that takes over me, that does it for me. So that's what I have in my head, especially when I step in. So it's a very, very heartfelt. It comes from a different area. It comes from a different area. It's come from, you know, somewhere where we have to just dig deep in within ourselves to pull out and to really call on a higher power.
Okay. All right. So, all right, I'm gonna get back to, and if you ain't know, you know, got a little cards here. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So we'll run through them. I know you a busy man. So who was your biggest inspiration growing up, and how did they shape you into approaching to fighting?
Biggest
Yeah,
inspiration growing up. I'll say my oldest brother. My oldest brother. If there's one person that I get butterflies when I fight, it's my oldest brother. since he was the firstborn, and he's an excellent martial artist. And I was always amazed of how he will fight. And I've always wanted to be like him when it comes to fighting, but be better. So I've always made that my goal. So he played a big inspiration within my life when it comes to martial arts. Um, and I'll say another inspiration of mine is Michael Venomous Page. Um, I remember the first time I saw him fighting, and I used to be amazed how he would just his ring IQ is next to none. I used to be amazed of how he would slip and so his slipping and how fluid he was, and Anderson Silva as well. I used to be amazed of how they will fight, and I would take pieces of that and try to add into my repertoire. Then Floyd Mayweather came, and I just remember how Floyd would use the Philly shuffle and countered off the Philly shuffle and just use his jab a lot. So all these the men that I named before, and then now adding in my brother, they help mold me into who I am today because I love boxing. I really
Right.
do love boxing, and I think boxing has helped me a lot with my martial arts. Boxing has helped me a lot with my martial arts, but those men, like, they helped form me into who I am right now when it comes to martial arts.
I appreciate that. And so I'm trying to get this. Got one picture, I believe. Give me 1 second.
Hmm.
While I get that, what's been the hardest part of your training camp before a fight?
The hardest, not eating certain foods, not eating certain food. I'm a secret glutton. I'm gonna just expose that. I'm a
Yeah.
secret glutton. I love birria tacos. You know what I mean? I love them. Uh, I'm a My secret guilt is like chocolate chip cookies with vanilla ice cream. I love when it
I ain't
comes to
gonna,
like that's the only sweets I'll eat.
but
Um,
you wouldn't
you said what?
your work ethics would not show that, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that, but
No, it would not.
that's good to know.
that's
Hey,
that's a se- it's a secret exposed. It's a secret exposed. Like if you know me, chocolate chip cookies with vanilla ice cream, you gotta make it right too. Like you have to take it out the oven and it's warm, right? You gotta
mhm,
get as soon as it's out the oven, let it cool down for like a minute or two. Make sure it's still hot. Take the ice cream, make sure that it's perfectly proportioned. You throw that thing in a microwave, warm it up a tad bit, and so that's been challenging. I'll say it's the food aspect. It's really the food aspect. I'll say cutting weight for me is very easy. I don't have that much body fat. I'm majority made of muscle, but so I have low body fat. But that's also a bad thing for me too because when I do cut weight, it's cutting muscles as well. But
so I'm not sure if you can see me sharing
I
this.
can see right there. Yeah.
Let me bring it over here
Yep.
and let me zoom in. So this is, as you can see, this is live. This was live. So I'm a,
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm a fan, brother. You see, I watch. I
Yep.
take pictures a
Yep.
while because
Yep.
when I seen this moment, I was like, man, this is a powerful moment right here for me. I'm like, bro, this is. I wonder what's going on right here. Like, I wonder what is he saying to get him in that zone, right? So, and I'm
Yeah.
glad I got to ask. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad you got to share that with me. You know,
Yeah. That was the before we go in, my brother, he really if you know my brother, he rarely shows his sentiments shows you towards you, but when he tells you that he loves me, when I hear that, I know okay, it's time to go in, and that's what he tells me right there. Give me a hug, and then boom, we locked in.
right?
We locked in.
Locked in for sure. All right. And and you answer some of this too, but I'm gonna ask it again, and so you can answer it clear too, right? So you known for your striking, your footwork, your boxing. You know, excellent
Mhm.
IQ, ring generalship.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Yeah.
you, thank you.
How did you you answered it, but I would like to hear it again. You know what I'm saying? How did you develop those particular skills? And are you working on
Uh-huh.
any other particular skills to put in the toolbox?
How did I develop? So before I ever entered into the school, I've always had a form of IQ, if that makes any sense. Just by studying, watching and studying. And then, I will also do a little shadow boxing, moving around, working on my jab the most, just going to the gym and just jabbing, jabbing, jabbing. Um, so I would just study by watching other men like Floyd, and I would just take whatever they're doing and I would add it to myself. Um, and I'll say what I'm working more on right now is my grappling, my jujitsu grappling, because that I feel like that needs the most work because I'm very comfortable and confident with my striking. The grappling aspect, I need to get more better with.
All right. And is it I don't want to I'm not trying to have you give too much of your game plan, you know what I'm saying? But is it a
Mhm.
any particular grappling style that you
Um, I like I said, I wrestled in high school, so I've always had a wrestling background, so I can wrestle. So to the point where we won state champs for my school year, varsity 160. So I can wrestle. I don't got no issue with wrestling. Um, I'll say it's the I'll say it's the more technical parts. More technical parts. I'll put more work into. I don't want to throw in too much. You know what I mean?
okay.
But
And
I am a big fan of Brazilian jiu-jitsu though.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, yeah, I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. You know, it's fun, tough, hard. It's not. It ain't easy.
Yeah, it's not easy at all. It's
You
not
know.
easy at all.
All right. And my next question: what's the most memorable fight you have had so far, and what have you learned from it?
This fight right here. This fight right here, my last fight. That was the most memorable fight and the biggest lesson that I've ever learned inside a fight. Um, would you like me to explain or
I
would
would,
you
I would love for you to explain.
okay, so inside that fight, as you watched, I was beating Buddy. Like I was doing what I needed to do to go in there. You know what I mean? I got the job done. Um, but my mistake was I forgot that there's no walk-off victories. So in
Mhm.
my first two fights, I did a walk-off victory, and I had thought that he was done, and I was great. I was great inside there. I was great. I was doing what I needed to do. Barely got touched up or anything. Um, so as I walked away, I hear my coach telling me, "What are you doing? Finish him." And I'm confused. I'm like, "What?" Because I thought the ref, was going to call it. And since I lost focus, I stepped back. I turned around. I was like, "Oh!" So I stepped and I misplaced my foot, losing focus, and he put me in a heel hook, and I grunted, and they called that a verbal stoppage. So I was like, it was a lesson right there. To always finish off, always finish, even when they hit the mat. Just always do a finishing blow to make to show the ref that he's incapable of fighting still. But it also exposed what I needed to work on more.
Okay. Okay.
So I had to live with that. I had to live with that lesson. There was a we kept saying it's not a loss, it's a lesson, which it also helped me, understand everything that happened that day. It was indeed a lesson.
Right. And actually, while we here, because I wanted to bring up because to me, I call it the biggest controversy loss that I ever witnessed with my own eyes. Right. Because me personally, I was like you, and I thought that it was over with. And how about this?
Mhm.
Well, this is excuse the bad. I told you I'm a fan, brother. So they record this. This was
Thank you.
live. and I was livid. So please pardon. I'm gonna play it first regular, and I'm gonna mute the background just so y'all can understand the anger or the frustration. I was confused. All right.
That was the end of the fucking fight right there. That was the end of the fight.
So, so pardon, pardon me.
Hold on, go back, go back, go back, go
I'm
back, go
I'm gonna
back,
play it back, but I'm
go
gonna mute
back.
myself, and I wanna let's just watch it because again, to me, he was finito. All right, he was done. Okay, so I'm gonna play it back. But you want to hear the sound too?
Yeah. He was like, that's what
That was the end of the fight right there. That's what I was saying.
that was the end of the fucking fight right there. That was the end of the fight.
Right? Because I'm thinking he's cooked. He just got clipped. He's knocked out. And you could tell that he was done. Right? He dropped like completely to the floor. And then the bigger uproar, you know, was the latter end of it where I don't you said you grunted. I didn't I guess because I'm on the TV, I didn't hear a grunt. I'm looking for a tap and I don't see a
Hold
tap
on, look,
and
look,
I'm
look,
going
look at this
crazy.
right here now.
Even
Move, Abby.
part of my rib, she's going crazy too. She understands my frustration. Part of
Abby,
my
move.
kids.
Look how he's finna cheat. Look how he's finna cheat.
We don't see no tap. We don't hear a grunt. You hear the frustration.
So
We don't see. I don't hear
yeah.
anything. I don't see anything. I literally start, and I might have jumped the gun, but I start writing to people like, "Yo, did y'all pay the referee to stop that fight or something?" Like,
So yeah, that's I grunted. I did like a it wasn't loud. It wasn't no screaming grunt. It wasn't loud or anything. Of course, if I'm being put in a hold, the thing's gonna hurt.
hey,
It's not like I'm being like tickled or anything. So I grunted. I didn't tap. I didn't say I tap out. I just grunted and the ref was so kind enough to stop it. I'll say that. I'll say he was kind enough to stop it.
okay,
I was going to roll
are
out
you
of I was in the midst of going to figure out and roll out of it, but who knows what could have happened. I'll say that. Who
right? Okay,
knows what
'cause
could have happened.
that was gonna be my next question. Did you? Because I don't feel like you agree with the stoppage, but I feel like I guess you understand why he stopped it because you know a little more of the rules because you're an
Mhm.
actual pro. So I don't. I'm just a fan. So I don't understand
I,
the
I made I made peace with the stoppage. I didn't understand it. Like I said, I felt like I was going to roll out of it, as I was figuring it out. I said, okay, maybe I gotta go this way. So but when I grunted because it was putting more pressure, the ref did what he needed to do. And just like what I said before, prayer. And I feel like the Lord stopped it for a certain reason, for me to learn something out of that. You know what I mean? In order for you to win, you got to lose some way. You gotta have a lesson in some way in order for you to win. And so who knows? Who knows? But I made peace with it and I understood it. And I let that motivate me. I really did let that motivate me. So I just been sitting in the back, just been patiently waiting. Just been patiently waiting.
okay. Got one more question. Not one more question in general, but another
Mhm.
question. What's the most underrated aspect of being a fighter that casual fans like myself might not realize? Actually, I'm more of a
Underrated aspect.
hard fan, but
What's the most underrated aspect of being a fighter? Huh. That's a great question. Underrated aspect. Fighting is like fighting is like an art. Fighting is art and it's a life lesson in fighting. And it teaches you how to manage your emotions It teaches you how to war properly. It teaches you how to be patient, and it teaches you how to be, more focused and motivated. And when you understand fighting, especially when you get injured in fighting, you want to rush into things. But that's the moment where you're supposed to be patient within yourself and trust the process. So fighting has uh, a lot of principles in it that can actually teach you and help you grow as a person. So that's what I'll say with that.
Okay.
A
Okay.
lot of
And
people don't know that, but a lot of people just think that fighting is just going in and you just get our head bashed. Is not fighting is a and great disciplined sport.
right, right. And I did put up like a little poll on a side chat, and a question
Mhm.
from Dream Real Dreams. What were your thoughts during and afterwards, and what was your team reaction of the speaking of the controversy stoppage?
Oh man, so my thoughts inside the cage was I honestly had nothing. I was thinking about nothing but just focused in on what my brother told me. So what my brother had told me, he said, don't hear no other voice but one or two, because I have two ringmen, meaning
Right,
my coach, or if he had to say something, my brother had to say something, or the other person that's there. He said everybody else tone them out. Don't listen to nothing else. Listen to them. So the only person and the only thing I was thinking about was the things that my coach was saying. If he told me to throw a jab, I'll throw a jab. I do recall people yelling my name and stuff, but I didn't pay attention to them. Um, After the fight, that's how I got my name. That was their reactions. They wasn't so focused on the loss right at that moment. They were focused. They were just amazed how I was just inside the fight because they never saw me fight before. So just they were just amazed, and then they dealt with the lesson afterwards. They were just telling me, and my coach related with me with a lesson that he had to learn inside the ring, which helped me a lot. So it wasn't a negative reaction. Um, for me, it sucked because I just went through it. As time progressed, I learned and I understood it. So after the fight, um, they wasn't they wasn't upset. They were happy. They were happy, and they were happy because they got to see me perform at such a level that they never saw me perform at before. They never saw me fight before. And they were just amazed. They're like, "Yo, Swift, you are a gamer. You locked in." Then they
right.
dealt with the aspect of what happened after.
Okay. And how do you decompress after a fight? You take time off, or do you go straight back into training?
I go straight back into training. If I don't have an injury, I go straight back into training. I will take about a week or two slowing things down and training, but I don't time off is I rarely do take time off. I do believe that your body does need the rest, but I if I'm like if I win a if I so my first two fights I won without any injuries. I don't think I got touched enough. Excuse me, and so it led me to fight again quickly for the third fight.
Okay, okay. And even after the third fight, you was right back in there, brother. Like you was
Yeah.
right back in there. So,
Mhm.
and okay, what's been the biggest lesson you've lost from the loss?
The biggest lesson. Better my jujitsu. Better my jujitsu. I think that was the biggest lesson. And to go in a the deeper level, like what I said before, it's good to learn what a loss is. So so when it's time to win, you can enjoy it.
Right. Got
Losses will humble you. I think it's through this loss, it humbled me greatly and it showed me what I did and what I need to work on.
right. Got somebody in it. His sister said, "Hey, I know that's right. No days off."
Thank you, sis.
All right, and So okay, let me ask you this, right? So after a fight, do you normally look for you know, uh, uh another worthy opponent, or are you just chilling? And two questions. It's
Um,
gonna be a two and one
okay.
questions. So I want do you immediately look for a potential next match? And specifically, are you looking to rematch um that last fight?
Oh man. So um after that fight, I was injured, so I did take some time off. Um, but if I wasn't, I would have never. I would have been. My coach would have been searching for somebody for me to fight again. Um, I do want to rematch him. He's not on my mind though. He's not on my top priorities. But as everybody saw that was there, everybody was like, "Yeah, he got whooped out. He got
Yeah,
whooped out.
got knocked out.
He got whooped out bad. He got knocked out bad." And that's why I said I'm playing the quiet game. It's a long, quiet game, but I'm playing the background because he was talking. He was talking. You came to my defense. A lot of people was into my defense. A lot of people was like, bad stoppage, this, that. He was out before, and he was just talking. I just remember him saying that, we fight again, a black belt. I'll just do the same thing. I'll beat him. I just been quiet. I just been quiet. Just been real quiet. My time will come.
For sure, definitely. You got the skills,
Yeah,
you got the mindset. There's nothing but greatness ahead of you, good brother. Um, and
thank
how?
you.
Thank the Lord,
Thank
right?
you. Thank the Most High. Right, right.
And how does the aftermath of a fight physically and mentally impact you, and how do you manage it?
Depending in the win or a loss.
I would say both. Like even with a win, like how do
Both.
you how do you manage even keeping the humility so because after
That's
a
a great
win
question.
you can't feel invincible. How do you keep that humility to keep training to get better and never thinking that you're
Hmm.
good enough or you know if you understand what I'm saying, not the
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the
So
best ever, but you could get better.
yeah. So the attention feels good. You know what I mean? That the hand raising, the people cheering, high fiving you. When I had my first match when I won, I felt like a celebrity. I'm not gonna hold you. Like he raised, I was just so confused. I raised my hand, everybody was cheering, and I was just happy. And as I got out, everybody just high fiving me, telling me, "Yo, you got a fight of the night, great fight, this, that." Oh, yo, I'm like, oh. Like I didn't know how to handle it at first. I didn't know how to handle it, but I did feel an overwhelming of joy. Second fight, um, same thing has happened. People recognized me from my first fight, was happy to see me again, and same thing, same thing. Um, but I've learned that as I progressed with it, I've learned that okay, I can't let this get to my head because my purpose for me when fighting is not to be the greatest celebrity fighter, cocky fighter. No, I actually wanna make something out of this to where I can give back. You know what I mean? So that takes a lot of humbling. And with this loss, I feel like it did a lot of humbling for me. It did a lot of humbling for me. And how I wore this loss in the beginning was it was very hard in the beginning. It was very hard in the beginning because like I'm just remembering the performance I put on. And then as I remember that, I remember, what happened after that. And I'm like, damn, like how did I just imagine you just beating someone and then the inevitable happened. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, that happened after me just putting on a great performance. Like, how do I even come back from that? But it did humble me a lot and it showed me what I needed to work on and it showed the mindset that I'm supposed to be carrying moving forward.
That was a nice answer. Nice answer. All right. And Outside the ring, what's something fans might be surprised to learn about you?
Oh man.
We already
Fighting wise or just general?
in general, we already found out you like to eat.
No, I'm a very, I'm a very, I'll say, goofy and just chill person. Like I'm very, you would even, a lot of people would even know that I fight. To be honest with you, because of my personality, I'm very charismatic and just always love to laugh and joke around. I just, you wouldn't even know that about me till I speak on it. I like to read a lot. I like to learn. Um, I catch people off guard. I'll say when they talk about a certain subject or any topic, and they hear my reply, and they get shocked, like, "What? Whoa, you're very educated." I'm like, "Hey, you just got to get to know me." I'm just like I said, I'm just very calm, charismatic. I like to love to laugh and joke around. But when it's time for me to, be something else, I would. It's like I'm a chameleon of some sort.
Yeah. So you gotta learn how to adapt, man. You adapt.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most challenging part of being a fighter that you don't think is talked about enough?
Most challenging part. Uh, determination. Determination. There are moments, and I'll use myself as an example. There are moments to where you feel like the work that you're putting in is never enough. There are moments where you feel like, um, are you ever going to achieve that goal that you want to achieve for this career? You know what I mean? Because injuries can happen. Um, injuries can hurt you. Injuries can hurt you mentally, and you may feel like you're not going to bounce back from an injury, but patience is there to help us. But I'll say that would be my answer with that determination.
And quick, all right, I, I'm going back and forth, right? So how do
No,
you?
no, do your thing.
I. First off, do you prefer to fight at a specific pace, or are you more adaptable? Because you just said you like a chameleon. You know what I'm saying? You adapt. So when you even let's say
I think I'm
spar,
adaptable.
like you adaptable, or do you like to
Yeah.
one pace?
I think that I'm very adaptable. Very adaptable. Um, I can go at a fast pace. It just depends. It just depends if I read you already. I'm the type to read.
Right.
Once I read you, then I know. Once I read you, then I know. But I like to be, I like to adapt, and I like to show. I like to, catch people off guard, especially if I'm sparring or if I'm actually in a fight. I'll catch you off guard. You may think that I'm just a striker.
Hmm.
That's fine.
See that? That's nice. All right. And quick question: where do you see yourself in the next few years? Do you have goals beyond fighting?
I see myself. I'm glad that you asked me that. I'm glad that's a beautiful question. So fighting is not my end game. Fighting is the goal that's going to help me achieve a purpose that I want, a purpose that I follow. Um, of course, I want to, one day win a belt. Of course, I want to be known for something in fighting, but ultimately, I want to take what I've learned and make a gym. Make a school, make a gym. For those who is less unfortunate, and help them and raise them up. You know what I mean? And also also create a fitness gym too as well. My family's big on fitness, and I would like to do that. I would like to do that, but I will want to use fighting because that's the talent that I was blessed with. I want to use fighting as a stepping stone.
Hey, that's what's up, and that's something that I always wanted to do as well. Have a gym for the youth, because I know when I was younger,
Yep.
I used to love the PAL. We had boxing gyms when
Hmm.
I was growing up. Brentwood Body Bangers. shout out to them, but nonetheless, um, that'll be fire. And I'll come to your gym, man. I'll come to your gym.
Oh,
I
praises,
gotta
praises.
get
Thank you,
that tutelage from them, the mighty warriors and them coaches that you underneath, man. Because
thank you, thank you,
I'm trying to get down too.
thank you, thank you.
You know,
Yeah,
and
that's what would you say?
no, finish.
Oh no, no, I was gonna say that's what I just have in store right there. I never really revealed it, but hey, this is the first episode. I gotta drop something. I gotta drop something.
Ooh, and what advice would you give to a rising fighters, who's just starting out?
I'll say remain focused, remain determined. Losses will come, but understand the loss is gonna help you become better and stick with the fundamentals. You don't need nothing flashy. You don't need a whole toolkit, repertoires. One what my coach always tells me is that learn and know three things and be good at it. You don't need to know 10 other things because you're gonna forget the first three. But learn and keep the three basic things that you're good at and master it. That's all you really need.
All right. Okay. So, is there any upcoming projects, sponsorships, or causes you're passionate about you'd like to promote?
Not of yet. Not of I've been like I said, I've been benched right now at the moment. I've been benched right now at the moment. But once I get back in there, there will be a lot of things that I would love to do.
Let's hear some of those things, man. Let's hear some.
I got you. I got you. Of course, giving back. Of course, giving back. Um, I would like to create a name for myself to where I'm able to give back properly and better. You know what I mean? Right now, it's not. Right now, I feel like I'm not at that place right now to give back. Because like I told you before, that's part of my purpose. So when I grow my name even more, sponsorships will come, and once I grow that even more, I think that will be able for me to give back more and properly as I start putting these things in fruition. God's willing.
Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. And we have another question from the
Yep.
chat. Says, "What's your playlist like approaching a fight?"
Playlist. Oh man, hold on. My playlist, of course, is Biggie. I gotta put Victorious by Biggie. Of course, I gotta put Pana in there. I gotta listen to War. What else I got on repeat? I gotta put some Drake in there. Certain Drake, not new Drake, not new Drake, not new Drake.
And when
What else?
you said Pana, is that somebody people can look up and find some music somewhere?
Yes, sir. Pana on Spotify. He's a great artist. Let's see. Let me show you. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm looking up his name right now.
And I just had
Pana is Pana Israel, great artist.
Pana Israel. Okay, definitely gonna check them out. And real
Oh, go
quick,
ahead. You ask me something? Yep.
yeah, I heard you say Drake, and I'm just curious, how do Drake get you locked in to fight?
I told you certain Drake. You ever heard of let's see, hold on. It's only one song. Actually two. You know the song Two Birds, One Stone?
Honestly,
Two birds, one stone. Two birds, one stone. My aim is amazing. That and Tucson leather. Tucson leather. That and Tucson leather. Because it's the lyrics behind it. The lyrics are very motivating, I'll say. The
okay, I
lyrics are very motivating.
might have to check it out.
It's not it's those are the only two. Those are the only two. Only two. Other than that, I'm sticking with my Biggie. I'm a big Future fan too as well. So I'll put on Superhero by Future, and I'll just have that. I'll just have that on repeat, all on repeat. I don't change. When I'm locking in the fight, I'll have that same song on repeat. I would not change it unless
And
I'll go to, Pana, then I'll have that on repeat. Then after that, I'll change it to I'll put it back on Biggie, Victory, and I'll have that on repeat. I would not change. That'll be the same like cycling 4 or 5 songs.
heard. And another question, right? Do you have a secret talent of rapping?
uh, um, I honestly don't know. Honestly, when I'm by myself, I do be freestyling. I be thinking that I'm the biggest rapper. I be thinking that I'm the biggest. Uh, I'll say it's little bit. I'll say a little bit. I'll say a little bit. Sometimes I be saying the same thing, but I can flow. I can flow. I just can't do it in public. Can't do it around people. I'm one of
That's
those. I'm one of those. If it's one person next to me, I'll do it. You know what I mean? But if it's like 3, 4, 5, I'd be like, nah. I'm like, yo, jump in, rap. I'm like, nah. But I'm not great at it. I'm not great at it. I'll do some light bars.
cool. Cool. Look, and we have another question from the chat.
Yep.
It says, what's your diet like as well as approaching a fight?
My diet. Ooh, a lot of water, a lot of protein. Um, I'll say greens, and I try to cut out carbs. Like I'll cut out a lot of bread, and that's probably it. Cause I'm a cutter. I'm a cutter. So in order for me to approach that weight, I have to load up on water a lot, take out the salt,
Okay.
take out all that sodium, a lot of fruits, and that's my diet. Sucks because I can't eat the things that I normally eat.
Right. And and you when you say that, you talking about them cookies.
I'm talking. I'm actually on a strict. I'm actually on a diet right now. I like I said before, my family's big in fitness, so we love the diet. We love to lift weights. We do a lot, all that stuff. So like, I've cut out bread until February 14th. So that means the sweets too as well. So I haven't had that in a while, man. It's been
Hey man,
killing me.
praises.
Really, it's been killing me.
Oh, praises, man. That's what's up, man. We trying to get fit like you too, man. We trying to
Yes,
lose some
sir.
weight.
Yes, sir.
You know, we gonna get there. Gonna get there, Lord willing, right? But
Lord willing.
that's all the questions we have time for today. I know you got a lot of things
I
to
got.
coming up.
If you got, more, I got about. I'll say about 10 more minutes
All right,
to like 5:55.
all right, cool. Come on, now I gotta go in the bag.
Can't believe I exposed that cookies, yo.
Yeah, man.
It got to be chocolate chip. Like, it can't be nothing else.
All right, okay. This is another question that I had. I seen you had a grappling match. Did that happen or what happened with that?
Oh man, so that grappling match, that's the match I actually got injured. That's why I'm shelved right now. Um, I was doing great in that match. I was doing everything that my partner was telling me to do. I just got impatient. Um, I love grappling. It's like a love hate relationship with me. Grappling is like it's you got to be very very patient in grappling. Can't rush anything because you might hurt yourself. Um, but you got to be like you got to find that right moment. And certain grapplers, they like sitting on the floor. They're like, that's what you call butt scooting. And I was doing good matching that, okay, you want to sit down? I'll match that level. I just got annoyed and impatient. Like, damn, like, why do you keep sitting down, man? Like stand up, because I'm used to standing up for wrestling. I'm not used to, I'm gonna just sit down and scoot to you and grapple you. Like stand up. Like this is what are you doing? Like I got impatient and I got put in a heel hook in. That was it after that.
Okay, okay. And we have another question with a little typo. It's okay though. Um, the sister wants to know, do you take any supplements? Okay, here we go. Do you take any supplements? If so, which ones?
Um, of course, fish oil, D3. I take a lot of magnesium to help relax my body, especially after sparring or training. Um, and that's it. That's it. Oh, I'll take collagen, zinc, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And again, back to these. If you weren't a fighter, what would you be doing with your life?
Criminal justice.
Criminal justice.
Criminal justice. I think I would be a great lawyer. I think I'll be a great lawyer. Criminal justice. I've always, I don't know, growing up, I was just fascinated of lawyers and how they did their job and how they did their research and just to defend that one person. I think that, knowing my mind too, I think that I will only be a lawyer to someone that is just. I can't I can't like my integrity wouldn't make me be a lawyer to someone that I know that is guilty that you want me to lie for. Like I don't know. I think that I'll be someone that will go against someone that's trying to like lie on another person for them to get free. I
Right.
always see myself walking in and be like, Your Honor,
He did
he's
it.
lying. He, that man is lying. Let me show you my case. Like I feel like I'll be a great defender too. Like I don't I feel like I'll be, great at that. No, but I always wanted to be that. I always wanted to be that.
That's what's up. That's cool. And we need more lawyers, good lawyers, for
Good lawyers.
our in this world. Let's say that, because
Yeah,
there is a lot of injustice. There's a lot of innocent people who
yeah,
have incarcerated falsely.
yep,
Um,
yep.
and some of those people was my family members. So we need
Hmm.
more criminal justice lawyers and things like that.
Hmm.
Um, if you could pick any fighter from history to face, who would it be and why?
Oh man. Ah, let's see. That's a great question. Damn, 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 damn. I
It
think that I would have to
it
choose.
don't have to be just MMA. It could be any fight, any branch of fighting.
I think it would have to be Anderson Silva. Why? Because
Spider
he's the
Silver.
person that Spider. Why? Because he's the person that I drew the inspiration the most from. He was a person I drew the most inspiration from, and I was just so amazed on his IQ, on his striking, on his grappling, and I've always wanted to face him. And I've always thought that at a young age too, I always thought that I could do better than someone in the ring fighting him. So I will always like try to match myself up with him. Like, okay, I would have done something better or different. I would have actually jabbed right there instead of waited. So Anderson Silva, Anderson Silva.
Yeah, I remember being a kid. Anderson Silva was definitely one of my favorite UFC fighters, and I
And oh,
definitely was
sorry,
one of those.
sorry, I forgot to mention him. John Jones, John Jones, John Jones is one of my favorite. I forgot to mention. Oh my God, how did I forget about John Jones? John Jones is one of my favorite all time. If I had to rank them, it's going to hurt to rank them. But if I had to rank my all-time fighters, it will be Anderson, of course, John Jones, and I'm not talking about who will be who. I'm just talking personal favorite.
Mhm.
Anderson, Jones, MVP, which is Michael Venomous Page, um, Floyd. No, I'll put Sugar and then Floyd.
That's fair.
I put Sugar than Floyd. I put Sugar than Floyd.
That's fair. That's fair. And hmm, let me ask you this: who do you got, Crawford or Canelo?
Oh snap! Oh man! Oh, that's gonna be a hard one.
Can
It's gonna be on
skills
the
pay the
decision.
bills? Can skills pay the bills?
The only thing I would say is that Crawford will have trouble with the weight, going up a weight. As we all saw his last fight when he fought that I forgot his name. He had to go up weight to fight him, and
Israel.
it wasn't a landslide for Crawford. It wasn't. We saw that when Canelo went up to weight to fight Bivol, it wasn't easy for Canelo. Bivol won. He kept using his jab, moving in and out. Bivol was comfortable at that weight. So I think Crawford's going up to Canelo's weight. Canelo's already comfortable at that area. So it's going to be hard for Crawford. So I will say if Crawford does not get a knockdown, Canelo got it. If Crawford doesn't get a knockdown, Canelo has it. It's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard.
So, even with Israel, I believe Israel was a different type of fighter than Canelo. I think Crawford might have had a little difficulty with him just off of his movement. I don't think Canelo move like that. Canelo is more centered.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I memean? So I think that's why.
Canelo's he's very fundamental, basic. He's very, you know what I mean? But we have to throw the weight inside there. Because
Yeah,
Crawford wasn't he wasn't himself. He wasn't the Crawford that we always saw. He wasn't that Crawford that fought what's his name? The truth. What's his name?
Spencer, Earl Spence,
Spencer.
Earl
Yup,
Spence,
yup. Errol Spence. Yup, Errol Spence. He wasn't that Crawford.
right?
He
And you
was
know
he
why?
was
You know what? This is just me. I'm just a fan, right? I feel like Crawford expected him to do more lunging and attacking, and he was more prepared. Because if you seen his fights, he's he's on go. He's lunging in. He's jumping at you with punches, and I think Crawford was expecting that. And with him doing his movement, he was expecting to be on the back foot countering, trying to clip him,
mm-hmm.
but he didn't really give. He didn't really. He didn't. He came with a different game plan to make you think he about to jump in. You know what I'm saying? So
Him jabbing him.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I think people underestimated Israel, but I think he was a good fighter, and I think that's why it was a tough. Crawford couldn't really figure him out like he thought he could. You know what I mean? And
Okay. I see that take. I see that take. I don't know.
but
I want.
I'm going with
I have.
Crawford. I'm gonna go ahead and say that
I
here.
have. I have it in right here, Crawford. But I'm trying to be real. If Crawford doesn't sit him down, I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna edge to Canelo. I think it just might edge to Canelo.
And you know what?
And
I could see
Canelo has fought legends. Canelo has fought legends. Canelo has fought legends, and he survived fighting legends.
so you don't
I
think
can. I can.
Crawford could beat him how Mayweather beat him and just punch him up,
No, Mayweather.
touch him
Mayweather
up?
is Mayweather was different. Mayweather was a father teaching the son. Canelo has been in the game longer than Crawford, so there's no lesson that Crawford can teach Canelo. I think that, especially that the weight class that Canelo's in, you can't teach him a lesson. He's probably going to see something that he saw before. So it's going to be difficult for Crawford to try to figure or try to hit Canelo. Like I said, if Crawford doesn't sit him, I think Crawford he has to sit him down. He has to wobble him. He has to sit him down in order for Crawford. That's how he. I feel like that's how he's going to get that win. If he doesn't do that, then I don't know.
All right. And I know you said 55. I do got a few more
You
questions.
should. Yeah. Go ahead, finish him.
All right. So, what's the best piece of advice you've received from your mentor or coach?
Best piece of advice. Oh man, I wish I remember them. I think what I was saying before. A loss will only, help you become better. So that's a great question. I wish I remember them. I wish I remember them.
Hey, hopefully this ain't our last interview. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We always have time for more. The platform always open to you, good brother. Um,
Yep, yep.
what's one thing about the fight game you think people get wrong?
Uh-huh. What's one thing about the fight game that people don't? That is brutal. I think people think that the fighting world is just full of egotistical men and women that just think that they're the greatest at at something that they do, and it's really not. You're surrounded by people who actually care for you, who wants to see you do things that that they want you to do. They support us. I think there's a lot of people who support fighters and really respect the things that we've been doing, especially putting our bodies on the line.
Right. All right. Well, I appreciate that.
Mhm.
I appreciate you coming on the platform. You know,
Thank you, thank you.
that's,
I'll take
that's
if there's more people in the chat. I'll take one more question inside the chat.
all right. You hear that? If y'all got any more questions in the chat, you know, bring them out. Anybody got any questions? Bring them out. Um,
I'll take one more
I,
question.
I got some more questions, but I think I want to hold them to the next interview, and I think that next interview is going to end up being after Crawford spanked Canelo. You know.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't think it's gonna be a spanking. It's gonna be a great, interesting chess match.
Definitely, definitely, and those are the fights that I love, especially because I know both of them are they both with it. Like I ain't taking nothing from Canelo. Canelo is I will give him. He's definitely in my top 10. You know, he's definitely in my top 10. Um,
Yeah,
but Crawford is definitely you know, my favorite boxer of this time. You know, of course, to Bernard
of this
Hopkins
era.
too.
Yeah,
I'm saying me coming up, Bernard Hopkins, Terrence Crawford. Those my favorite ones.
you got Phil Tank in there too. You
Yeah, I
got
was
Phil
about to
Tank
say
in there
I was
too.
about to say of this, and then if you wanna come see, I was about to say, Tank is to me, Tank is after Crawford because I'm looking like Crawford been here before Tank, so I'm looking like
Yeah,
they not in the same generation. I don't
right,
put
right.
them in the same league. Tank is the newest of the new, for sure,
Yeah.
and he's definitely at the top of that. Oh, so boom, let me ask you this.
Okay.
What do you think about Keyshawn Davis and Andy Cruz? Do you think that will ever happen? And do you think Keyshawn
I
should
gotta I
fight
gotta watch.
Cruz before he
I've heard of
try to tank?
I've heard of Keyshawn. I think I watched one of his matches. I don't know too much about Andy Cruz, but I'm kind of a fan of Keyshawn Davis. Kind
Okay,
of a fan. Not all the way there. I'm kind of a fan. I'll have to see more of his performance, his fighting.
okay. Well, I say this: Andy Cruz beat him 4 times in the amateurs.
Well, I'll say this: did not Haney beat Ryan more times in amateurs? Was it a draw
It
or
was
Devin
it was
Haney out?
it was a tie. They both had
It was a
three and
tie.
three.
Okay,
They
okay.
both
So,
had 3 and 3, and his last one finaled it.
so now it's 3-3 now, right?
No, now
Okay.
Ryan
Okay. So
beat
that's 4-3. It's 4-3 now. It's
four
4-3.
three.
So I'll say that like an amateurs. I'll say amateur is still an area where you're learning.
Right.
See, amateurs is still an area where you're learning. Pros where I've learned from an amateur. Now it's time for me to put in what I've learned and become better. You know what I mean? So hey, we saw what Ryan did to Haney.
Yeah,
My guy Ryan got him out of there. He got him out of there.
got him out of there. Clean
Got him
cut.
out of there.
You
Left
know.
hook all day.
Um. Okay. Okay. What do you think about Clarissa Shields versus Perkins. Who do you think that fight comes on in the
Shields.
next? Shields?
Shields.
I'm going with
Shields.
Shields. Me too. Me too. And another question: did you see? I'm gonna leave that one out. Lamont Roach and
I
Tank.
got one. I got one more. One more
Okay.
question. Lamont Roach and Tank. I got Tank, of course.
Okay. All
I
right.
got Tank, of course.
Well, we gonna end it there. That's all the questions
Mhm.
we have time for. But before I let you go, please tell the people where they can find you, follow your journey, and where they can now find the most righteous hooks.
So I'll say you can find me on my Instagram, Mahayar St. Phard. Um, Mahayar St. Phard underscore MMA. Um, Also, you can find me on Fighting Arts Academy. That's my school. And I'd like to thank you for having me on here, as well as being the opener of your start of your new journey of interviewing fighters, getting to know them, getting to know more of the fighting world, and just exploring this area. So I just want to reach out and to thank you. All praises that you're able to do this, and I hope that this blossoms and blooms and helps you, further on in your career. But other than that, I'm very thankful. I just continuously thank the Most High for the talents that He has blessed me with, not just me, but the people who I surround myself with, you as well. Um, and the talent that He has given me, I would love to explore it more. And with this journey, I hope to just grow even more.
Amen. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I hope the Most High further your career too, man, and
Thank you,
unlock all of the secret hidden talents that we all got, and we all blossom
thank you.
and grow.
Hmm.
And look, like I said, this ain't the last interview. We're gonna have more, and hopefully, we're sharing goals and accomplishments that we done checked off now. You know,
Thank you. That's a fact.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Amen. ATP, Jab the Paradise with the official Mahayar Swift, the gamer, locked in. Saint Phard. Come on, man. I appreciate you, good brother.
Sir, sir. Thank you. I
Yes, sir. And with
appreciate you,
that,
man. Thank you.
I'm gonna say peace and thanks everybody for tuning in. If you want to catch more interviews like this one, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. We got plenty more interviews in the works. We got plenty more fight parties, and I would love to have you guys involved. You know,
Yeah, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you subscribe, yo. There's more to come, more to come, and I can't wait to come back. So we're gonna talk about that fight. We're gonna talk about it.
You
We're gonna
talking about
talk about
Canelo?
it.
Which one you talking
Hello,
about? Oh yeah,
Crawford, the Crawford.
oh
Yup,
yeah,
we're
oh
gonna
yeah.
talk about it. Don't worry. We're gonna talk about it.
See, I'm trying
That
to
one's
get
for the
everything.
books.
Once I
And
figure out how to.
also Ryan and Devin.
Oh,
Ryan
Ryan.
and Devin. We're gonna talk about that.
Oh
Ryan
yeah.
and Devin.
Who you got for the
We
second
go.
one? Who you got for the second one?
Ryan. Ryan.
I'm going with
Ryan.
Ryan too. I'm going
Ryan.
with Ryan too.
Ryan.
I knew Ryan could
You
flip him
already
in the
know.
first one. So, you know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I knew that was the only way here when is if he flips him. You know what I mean? But with that,
Yeah.
we're gonna close out again. Thank you for coming on the show, man, and blessing us with your presence. You
Thank you.
know,
All praises, man.
JTP, we are out.